Alright, in this video I'm going to discuss how we pull engine codes and the vehicle information which we can find by doing it through the Snap-on Moto-Scan tool that we have. So, first thing you're probably going to want to do is find the VIN, vehicle identification number. So, it could either be normally on the pillar for the door, or if not, you can find it on the window. So I went ahead and took a picture of it for this example, okay? Any car that is 96 or newer, the OBD port is usually underneath the dash somewhere. So in this case, it's right here, right? So with this Modus, we've got our connection, and then we've also got a spot for potential chips to go. In order for this to work, we're going to need key on power. So that means everything in the dash lit up. We're going to connect our OBD2 connector. Now, the Modus is fairly slow to start up. Once it's connected, you'll hear it make a beep. Go ahead and power it on. Okay? Once we start entering the vehicle information, we may or may not need to use one of these chips. You can see for various applications there are different chips. Okay? Sometimes what they'll ask for is they'll ask for you to find the year, make, and model of the vehicle based off of the entering it through the Snap-on Modus. So I'll show you how we find that information. Here again, it's done by decoding our VIN. So once you power it up, it's going to come to this main screen. Okay? We need to communicate with the vehicle. So this is our toggle scroll for the menu option. So we're going to scroll down one to vehicle communication. Now, go over. Then we're going to go down to select U.S. domestic, because in this case we have a Chevy. Okay? So if it's a Chevy, that's GM. Hopefully you guys know your brands, because otherwise that might make it a little difficult, but pretty sure most of you do. So, in this case, we have a Chevy, which is GM, so we hit yes. Okay, so it'll tell us select the year of the vehicle. You could just enter it, but this is where it's important to get the 10th digit of the VIN. Okay, in this case, our 10th digit is a 1, meaning this is a 2001. We hit yes. Select make. Okay, it's a Chevy. So you'll scroll through until you select Chevy. Hit yes. Now the third VIN, is it a car? Third VIN a 1. Look at your VIN number. Yes. Okay, fourth VIN, is it an F? Yes, so we have a Chevy Camaro. Now the 8th digit of the VIN is the engine. Do we have a 5.7 or do we have a 3.8? Right, so our 8th digit should be a G. If we count over, yes, it's a G, so it's a 5.7 liter V8. We hit yes. Now it's saying, is this information correct? We hit yes again. Now you need to look, is it a 4-speed auto or 6-speed manual? Sometimes it'll ask if it's automatic with AC, automatic without AC. You're just going to have to look at the features in the menu option. So in this case, it's a 6-speed manual. Now, if they ask you to check for engine codes, that's what you would select. If they're asking for airbag codes or any lock brakes, you would select either of those. Let's say that they want you to check and see if there's any engine codes. You would select engine. So in this case, if we needed a chip, okay, at this time it would tell us which one to enter. But since it's a GM, it says no key required. Okay, if we did need a chip, when you grab it, it can only go on one side, okay, because of this slot. If we try to put it in backwards, it won't go, okay? But in this case, we don't need one. So, since we don't need one, we don't have one connected, we're going to go ahead and hit yes. Now, do we want data display, codes menu? In this case, right, if we're checking for codes, we would go to codes menu, hit yes. We want to know if there's any trouble codes. We would hit yes again. Now, it wants us to know if we want to look up current engine codes or if we want to look history codes. In this case, we want to look up if there's any current codes. So in this case now on this, we would write down these two codes in which we have. Okay, so we have two different codes in this. If it didn't have any, it would say pass, no codes found. And that should be it for this testing section of the skills. And then to power it off, press power, hit yes, and it'll shut it down.